Hey everybody, this is the Sliders Review, and since it's Women's History Month, I'm here today to talk to you about Miss Congeniality, the 2000 comedy movie starring Sandra Bullock. This is like an extremely good movie. It was written by that of Mark Lawrence, and it was directed by Donald Petrie and everything. And Mark and Sandra, they joked around at the end of this movie because they never thought about making a sequel. It just never was on their mind. Then they joked about it and decided, hey, let's do it. And then they made the sequel, and it was directed by a different person. I never saw the sequel. Here's the thing about Sandra Bullock. I love myself some Sandra Bullock. She is an amazing actress. She's one of my all-time favorite actresses. The thing about her is that not only can she act, because she's an amazing actress, but she's very likable in the characters that she plays. No matter what kind of character it is, she has that likability to her. And I love seeing her in movies. However, I don't want to see her in a sequel. I've never seen movies that she done that were sequels, but like with Speed 2, Miss Congeniality 2, I heard they didn't do so well. So sequels aren't really her thing, you know what I'm saying? Now it's funny, she started off as a TV actress in the early 90s, even had her own show. But the show got canceled. After that, she became a huge movie star and has never went back to television. But she is an amazing movie actress, and she has been in so many movies and stuff. She is one of the best. That's why it's kind of sad not to really see her do that much now. And the thing is, she's mostly like a comedic actress and stuff, but she's done some other things. I haven't seen Practical Magic yet. I started to watch it years ago and then I stopped for whatever reason. It's on HBO Max. I should check it out. Also, this movie is on HBO Max. I really want to see what that second movie's about, but I'm scared. I've seen the trailer, and even the trailer doesn't seem that good. The trailer is weird. Like, it's like everything that made this movie special, everything just got like flipped on its head and just went downward in a downward spiral when it came to the sequel and stuff. It never made no sense. Also, it didn't make no sense to make a Speed 2 without Keanu Reeves and stuff. Also, it didn't make no sense because why would another villain do the same thing similar to the first movie, but like just on a boat now? You know what I'm saying? And I think his name is Benjamin Bratt. Yeah, Benjamin Bratt. He's in this movie. He's amazing, and he was not in the sequel. Every time her leading guy doesn't come back for a sequel, she should know that, hey, I probably shouldn't do it. But my God, she is phenomenal as an actress and stuff. And she always has that girl next door look to her. And it's really hard to dislike any of her characters she plays, even this one, because when she starts off, I'm just like, how are they gonna make her look gross? You know what I'm saying? Because this movie is the whole ugly duckling coming into like a swan thing. It's basically based off that fairy tale, just like, made in like, this type of movie format. Basically, she is a FBI agent and she is a slob. She doesn't care how she looks. When you look at her, because she has a tomboy appearance and everything. She doesn't comb her hair. She doesn't own a brush. She eats like a slob. She dresses like a slob. Her home is that of a slob. And she's a very slobbish, like grossy kind of person. You know what I'm saying? And the thing about her character, Gracie Hart, and it's just like, she is like, she cares about her job. Like, she loves being an FBI agent. She loves like catching the bad guys. She loves protecting people. We even see a flashback in the beginning of the movie where she's like a little cutesy wootsy little girl who beats up a boy who's picking on another boy. And the other boy is mad now because he's all like, oh, now people think a girl is going to fight my battles. So she punches him and everything. She's a very tough, rough around the edges type of girl. And she doesn't own a dress. She doesn't do anything girly. So the thing about this movie is that she has to go from being a slob to turn into one of the most fabulous looking women of all time. I remember when I saw the trailer for this on TV because they had it on TBS playing it as a movie and stuff. And that's when I first saw it. And I love the trailer. I love that She's a Lady song when she come out walking in like that short dress and everything. But for the movie, it's Mustang Sally. It's still a great song, but like I wanted to hear She's a Lady, which played it after the walk and everything, which made no sense. And this movie has like old school music and new music from like 18s and everything, with Dancing Queen. I'm just kind of like, wow, like are they really expecting older people to know who some of these songs and music people are? But who cares and stuff, you know? That's what I grew up with because of Disney Channel and stuff. So the whole movie is there's a terrorist, a domestic terrorist who is trying to harm beauty pageant type people. They're always sending in these threatening letters. And they're known as like, I think like the stranger, no, the civilian. And so the FBI has no idea who this person is. And they have a very unique way of writing when they send in letters. So they deciphered it and realized, oh, they're going to hit the beauty pageant thing that's going to happen. So they need to send like an agent in. But all of their women are either, in their opinion, not attractive or on maternity leave. So the only one left is Agent Hart. And she doesn't want to do it because, you know, she's like, I'm not a girly girl. So in the movie, they have to transform her. They get her like, you know, this gay stylist and everything, played by Michael Caine. And he is funny in this movie. And so like, you know, they transform her to where when they transform her, she just looks like Sandra Bullock. Like before, she really didn't look like Sandra Bullock. Like she did, just like a rough around the edges version, especially when she wore glasses, you couldn't really tell. And, you know, but when they redid her, she just looks like Sandra Bullock, but just wearing like a short skirt, not skirt, but dress and everything. And she has a hard time fitting in with all these beauty pageant type people. She's not used to hanging around women and everything. And some people actually think she might be like a lesbian, which you get that vibe from her, but she's totally straight. She just doesn't date because nobody wants to date her and stuff. And so one of the cool things about this movie is that she gets a new perspective on life and everything. She gains like a newfound respect for like women and how they have to like make themselves look beautiful and all the stuff, the steps that go through it and everything. And she makes a lot of female friends that come to like and respect her in the form of beauty pageant girls and stuff. One thing about this movie is that it might be problematic today, sadly. I love it. I think it's great. But this movie, okay, every guy in this movie, like it's funny. Like a lot of people always screaming about woke this and woke that and how men are treated badly in movies today and women are the smarter. But this movie is made in 2000 and it has that same formula. It has a strong woman. She is capable of beating the man's behind because she's had FBI training. And it's a great fight scene with her and Benjamin's character are like training. That's actually them doing all those stunts and everything. And it's one of my favorite parts of the movie. She is highly intelligent because all the men on the FBI couldn't figure something out. And she was able to figure it out within seconds. All the men in the movie are either male chauvinist pigs or idiots, and they don't respect women. Like this movie is very vulgar to women in the male persona and everything. And you know, and it's her being the leading lady. If this movie was to come out today, like literally come out today, this movie would get attacked big time. It would not be the cult classic that it is today because all these angry little YouTube people, especially men, will be complaining about this movie. And back then, you didn't hear not one person complain. Now, granted, the internet was just starting to come in its own, so there wasn't really things like YouTube chat rooms and stuff like that would talk about stuff like this. But so we really don't know truly the opinion of people, but many years later, you don't hear nobody complaining about it. So in the eyes of many, it's accepted. But I tell you this here right now: if it was made today, people would be complaining, calling it woke and garbage and everything else. It would be attacked before the movie even came out. It's something to make you think and wonder. So what is the deal with all these people on YouTube screaming like woke and everything like that if they could accept the movie like this back in the day, you know? And so, but back to the problematic messaging, it basically tells you not to like yourself, and in order for you to be a better person in life, because she does become a better person in life and a new perspective on life. It's only saying that you can only become that if you're gorgeous and you make yourself look gorgeous. And you're supposed to like yourself and body positivity and stuff like that. So if this movie was to be made today, they would have to rework some things, you know what I'm saying? Because basically the messaging in this movie is you can only get nowhere in life and like yourself if you're gorgeous and stuff. Even the Benjamin Bratt character, you see him dating other girls and hitting on other girls in the movie who are like really hot and everything like that. He never hits on her. They're just like pals and stuff. But the moment she transforms herself, all of a sudden, he's now into her and he becomes the love interest. But he only did that because she transformed herself, you know? And so when she goes undercover and everything, it makes for some of the most hilarious stuff. William Shatner's in this. Candice Bergen is in this. I'm about to call her Murphy Brown again and stuff. And who's the dude from Ghostbusters? Ernie Hudson and everything. He's in this. He does a phenomenal job in this, man. I love watching him in movies and stuff. And so, she has to adapt. She has to do like the bikini contest when she has to do like, her talent, which is like musical glass type thing with water in it. It makes for a very hilarious movie. And she screws things up. The thing about her is that she never stops to think before she does her job because she's all about protecting people. In the beginning of the movie, she screws up because they're trying to take down a Russian gang, and one of the head leaders is like choking on a peanut. So she drops her gun and gives him the Heimlich maneuver, only for then him to put like a knife to her throat and then gets an agent shot. Because of this, she gets in trouble. So she's on thin water and everything, or thin ice, I guess is the phrase. And so while she's doing the beauty pageant stuff, she jumps a guy in the audience because he had a gun in Texas, which they say, because in Texas they have a open carry law and stuff. And so because of that, it's now making people suspicious and everything because they still don't know who this bomber is, but the person works directly close. Oh no, they don't work with, or they don't know yet that the person works for like the company and stuff. They just think it's complete strangers. So because of that, she gets in trouble again, and then she starts to suspect it could be the woman who's directing the entire beauty pageant because she has a very toxic history with the beauty pageant people and stuff like that. When she wants to investigate it, her male superiors don't want to. So they leave. And then so she stays behind as a private citizen and everything. And then the Benjamin Bratt character, he realizes once he finds out who one of the guys is at the beauty pageant, that it's related to the lady who runs the thing, because all the older people are getting kicked out because they're older and stuff. And she was once in the beauty pageants herself, and she was the runner-up, and then the winner got food poisoning and she had to take over. So she's bitter because of the whole beauty pageant, like politics of it all. So this is when the guys come back and try to help her out and everything. Well, at least Benjamin does. The superior dude doesn't want to do it. The dude who's like in charge of the entire thing. And so they stop like, the citizen from like bombing, like, the beauty pageant winner and stuff like that, which makes for a very hilarious scene towards the end when the crown is given to the winner and they have to like stop it because, they don't know it's a bomb. Of course, like Gracie does. And it just makes for one hilarious like thing, And there's another part in the movie that's really interesting that got like a lot of laughs out of people. when one of the women lost, she made a passionate speech talking about you can be bad all by yourself, and like I'm a lesbian, and power to all the lesbians and all this other stuff. And so the person who's in charge of the network, he's all like in the editing when he's all like, "Oh, we allowed to say the word lesbian on TV?" And there's a woman who's all like, "You got a problem with that?" Meaning she's a lesbian. He's like, "Nope." And it made for a really hilarious thing. And what's so crazy about that, a lot of people doesn't think like things like that like will be real, but it actually is. When I watched a show called Sliders back in the 90s, came out in like 95, the commentary people was talking about how they had an interracial kiss, a black man and a white woman kissing. And at first they wasn't going to do it because they were scared of the censors. And this was the 90s and stuff like that was totally okay, but they were scared to put that on TV. Now, here's something I didn't know. Gabrielle Carteris, I believe her name is, who was in the original Beverly Hills 90210. She played Anya and everything, the one with the glasses. And she did this type of reality show for celebrities where they do tightrope walking and stuff, right? And her and Alfonso Roberto, they did it together. And so when they did their routine, she wanted to like hug him, and then the people who work for like the show like, no, don't do it because it might upset people because you're white and he's black and stuff like that. And she's all like, what? Because she was like very shocked by this because this was the 90s of all things. And so why would people have a problem with that? So she told him, and inside of hugging him, they both decided they was gonna kiss on live TV to really piss people off and stuff. And so that line about the lesbian thing, a lot of people assume that, people will never be like, oh, who cares about that? Because, this is 2000, but people did care about stuff like that in the day. And so now that Gracie, has saved everybody's life, the beauty pageant people wanted to give her the title of Miss Congeniality. And when we see her still in her FBI clothes, dressing like a slob, she has her hair done and her makeup. She no longer wants to be fully a slob. And so, but then with the sequel movie, she's now obsessed with being hot and everything. And she's now very famous because of what she did. And I just don't like the trailer of the second movie. I want to see it, but I'm scared because it did bomb and everything, But this was a really cool movie. I don't know how it would be made if it would be made today because things are very, very, very different now. You know what I'm saying? Especially with the whole post-Me Too movement and stuff. Another thing that would be problematic in this movie is when Gracie is talking to one of the contestants and she talks about what happened to her in college when she was attacked by her professor. And so he sexually attacked her, and it's played off as almost like this girl who doesn't know what to do. And then so Gracie teaches her how to defend herself. But the thing is, then the girl doesn't learn how to defend herself because she's drunk and passes over. This is made as a comedic moment. And I think something in this series should have been addressed a whole lot better, which is why I think for a lot of people today, they will find this movie somewhat problematic. Happy Women's History Month, everybody. All right, I'll talk to you later. Bye.